Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do some quick and easy eyes for your chainsaw carved bears. This is going to be for the beginner kind of video. So if you're just getting into carving and you're wondering, maybe some easy ways to do some eyes for these guys, stick around because I'm going to show you how. Alright, so adding eyes to your chainsaw carvings. There's a few different ways we can do that. Well, there's several different ways we can go about doing that. Simple, quick, easy, and you get into like more detail, more time consuming and things like that. Like I said in this video though, this is kind of for the beginner. So this would be, easy ways to put, eyes in your bears. The three bears I had pictured in the beginning, here, I'll show you guys again. This first guy here, his eyes are done with a bit that I had to make. I'll show you that bit. I'll put up some links for the things you'll need, and you can make that bit yourself. The guy behind it, he's just got some black marbles in there. Again, I'll put up some links for the marbles and for the bit you'll need to do this setup. And the guy behind that is a little more in-depth, a little more detail. I use some different bits to really carve these ones out and try to round them myself, and it's a little more time consuming. We're not really going to touch base on this style in this video. I feel that's a little bit more not quite the beginner level. That will entail different tools, different bits, more expensive items. These two guys though, for the beginner, the things you'll need are fairly cheap, so you can really just get going with putting eyes in your bears. So let's start with the little guy. You can see his eyes are carved right in. They're pretty rounded. There's not a lot of shaping going on here. They're just sunk right in, right? Now, the bit for that looks just like this. And then you carve the end of it out. So that bit, just like this die grinder, came from Harbor Freight. I will put links up in the description through Amazon that you guys can buy these items through and have them shipped right to you. So if you don't have a Harbor Freight nearby, no big deal. You can follow those links. Plus, the purchases through those links help support this channel. This bit comes like it is, just like this. Normally, it's a flat end. You'll get a little kit. You can find a little kit through Harbor Freight, or I'll find it, put it in the links below, and it'll have some grinding items in there. One of them will be a ball like this and a smaller one. The really small one you'll use here. So you can put this bit in a vise and put this ball in the die grinder and grind the end of this down till it's got that concave shape that matches the ball. Now this ball is way too big, so that's not going to work for that. This is great though for these little bears, the bears that are within the 1 foot range. They're really tiny, slender. They don't have big eyes, You just sink that thing in and you're done. I will be trying to do some more videos, more detail on this process, but right now I'm just trying to get something out so you guys can kind of get started and get going on it. My apologies to not have this out sooner. I've just been swamped with a lot of work here in the shop, but I'm trying to cater to your guys' needs as well, and it makes for a busy week. But it's good though. I like being busy, so we're all good. Moving on to the next bear. So this guy's got marbles in there. As you can see, I kind of sank the saw in just a little, kind of made a slice into where his eye would be. And then what I did was I took a 5/8 Forstner bit. This is a Forstner bit, if you don't know what they look like. A 5/8 marble to put in it, which I had laying here and I dropped. Voila, 5/8 marble. Drill this in, tap that guy in place. Now if you're going to do that process, I recommend that you paint the bear first, clear coat him. While the clear coat's wet, on your last coat, sink these in. Otherwise you're going to get paint on the marble, clear coat all over it. It might not be as glossy as you like. If you don't really care, then just sink them in, paint, clear coat, done, whatever. Not a big deal. Some people will epoxy these in. I don't. I mean, you run the risk that they could fall out over time, but if you're carving green wood and you pop this in when it's green, it's going to shrink around it. There is a downfall to that. It could shrink and crack right where the marble is, because the marble is not going to shrink or move. It's a solid that's not moving, and the wood will move and could potentially crack. This guy, I didn't have any of that happen, so I didn't really, I got lucky. He didn't crack at all. There's no epoxy in there. These are just popped right in there, and I mean, they're not going anywhere. The wood has shrank right around it, and they're in there pretty darn tight. So I don't waste any epoxy or time with that, putting these round marbles in. When I drill the hole, though, I drill so that it sinks in just as far as this bit is thick, the end here. So that's how deep the hole is, and then the marble will fit right in, so some of it's still sticking out. I might even go past that just a little bit, just so I have some of that, the eye bulging out just a little bit. It's a real simple process. I'll show you how I do that here. I've got a little piece set up over here. I'll get you guys in a little closer. All right, so there's a block of wood. You pretend it's right by the snout of your bear, up here, just like these guys. Basically, just take this drill bit, sink it in there. Now you can use a cordless drill or a corded drill. I use both. Again, I'll leave links to everything I'm using and talking about, and you guys can kind of make the decisions of your own. All right, so I do go past that a little. I forget. I do this thing by eye, I don't really measure a whole lot. So get that in there. It's sunk past, not even 1/8 of an inch. You take your marble, you pop it in, and that's that. It's in there. You're done. Now, this wood is dry. The marble seems loose, but when you cut in, when you're doing that and you're doing it next to the eye, it's not just this flat surface. You'll have this lower lip that's concaved and next to the nose, and if it's green wood, like I said, as it shrinks, it'll help hold that in place. Now, I don't, like I said, but you can mix a little bit of epoxy. Drill both eyes out, lay the guy down, mix your epoxy, stick it in there, pop your eyeballs in, let it dry, you're done. So that's up to you guys. That's a simple enough process for you to figure out. Actually, you know what? I'll leave this here. And how about I show you the little bit that I was just talking about to make with the grinders. Again, that's on a Chicago die grinder. That's just from Harbor Freight. So, I mean, fairly cheap tool we're talking about here, right around 55, 65 bucks, something like that. I'll try to leave a link in the description again for it and for all the bits you'll need. So here it is. It's in there. Turn this on. Oh yeah, she's a smoking. But that rounds out really nice. It gives it a nice round ball. Now that works great for the little bears, like I was saying. I like a bigger eye as the bears get bigger. So, but it's perfect for them little guys and little quick, easy sail bears that, you're putting a little detail into, but not too much. And this is just a really great, quick little tool to do that. You guys can see it a little bit better. So I'll do it again so you guys can see better at that angle. Go in, move it around, pull out. So when you move it around, this is something you'll have to feel out and get your own technique for. You're kind of honing it out around it, And when your bear looks like this guy, you'd be honing out just a little bit up to the nose here and up around for the eyebrows. Then you can take that same bit, kind of hit up here and shape all this and kind of shape his head a little bit nicer as well. So it's multi-purpose, really. So those there are the two quickest and easiest ones that I have found. The least expensive and least time consuming once you get this bit here made. Again, you buy the bit, take it, put it in a vise. Get the small little grinding ball in there, get everything clamped down, turn this on high, and start grinding the end of this bit, so it's concaved. And it takes time. Make sure you're not by sawdust or your gas or anything, because it's going to throw sparks. So safety glasses and, you know, all the good personal protection gear and all that crap. Make sure you got it on. Be safe. Now, I did go ahead at one time and I purchased a saber tooth bit to make an eyeball bit out of. You know, this is the eyeball bit here from, well, that we made from stuff from Harbor Freight. Well, this is the saber tooth one. Now, I ground out the end of this using the large ball, which isn't really a great idea unless you want humongous eyes for your bears. I don't like the really big eyes myself. I've seen them in other carvings and people really do like them, but if you want a really large eye, you can find this bit through Sabertooth. And when you buy the kit to make the smaller eye bit, you'll also receive this size. Normally you get a few in the kit, so I'll try to find that kit for you guys so you can buy everything kind of all at once. But that's pretty much it. I mean, quick, easy ways for eyes. So this is the beginner video for creating eyes. I am going to put out a more in-depth, more detailed video about carving the eyes and the nose and the snout, you know, the mouth and things like that. That's not going to be till farther down the road though. I'd like you guys, if you're new and you're beginners, to really practice honing in your bears and your skill and getting them close. And I mean, when you buy this bit, if you make this bit and you're doing these little guys, you know, practice doing some shaping and things like that. When you get into really carving the other eyes, you're going to start to spend some money, which you probably already have. And if you haven't, I plan to do a how to get going in carving kind of video, and, you know, some basic tools to get that started, you know, what you should have to start carving. Back to the eyes though. The Sabertooth bits are expensive. If you get into the Sabertooth bits for carving the eyes, you know, some of these are like $25 a piece. So I just took a $25 bill and ground it down all crazy. I don't even use it. That was a waste of $25 for me. So whatever. I didn't even spend $25 for this bit, which was a package of bits, and you can use all of them for carving. And I didn't even spend close to that for the package that this came in with several other grinding, you know, wheels as well. So, I mean, this whole thing may be $20, $25 for the two sets of, you know, bits. But it's pretty inexpensive for this kind of stuff. When you're buying, you know, the lower grade, the lower end, the beginner series, as, you know, as I call it, which really that's where you should start. It's kind of where everybody starts. Start with that cheaper stuff, you know, try to hone in your skill. And then as you get better and you start selling carvings and you start making money, save it. And then you can upgrade. That's how I like to run my business. If I want a new tool, I don't buy it until I've sold stuff. Save it, then upgrade. There's no point in going into debt for this to find out later that you just don't want to do it, or you're not good at it, or nothing sells where you live, or, you know, all that. But honestly, you guys should be able to make anything and sell it. People will buy anything because everybody loves their own stuff. You know, everybody has their own style, and it is what it is, you know. So, you know, this is really easy eyes. I know you guys can do it. If you guys have comments or questions below, you know, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer. Again, this is just the beginner video. I'll be working on a little bit more detailed, higher end video about carving, and we'll get that out later on down the line. So, yeah, that's pretty much it though. Easy stuff. I thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you aren't sure how to start carving a bear, I got a bunch of chainsaw carving videos on here. Check those out. Always remember to wear your safety gear, keep all your fingers intact, and we'll see you guys later.